Waiters, what's the worst first date you've ever seen? It was a Tuesday evening in late October, the kind of night when the dining room filled slowly, mostly with quiet couples and the occasional solo diner with a book. I'd picked up a shift at Margot's, a French bistro tucked off Halsted, not usually a hot spot for first dates. But every now and then, one would sneak in. The man arrived for early 30s, suit jacket slightly wrinkled, hair too carefully styled like he'd watched a tutorial an hour earlier. He checked his phone 3 times in 2 minutes before I even brought him water. Said her name was Laura when I asked if he needed anything else. She arrived 10 minutes later, messy bun, canvas jacket, boots still wet from the rain. She looked like someone who'd just run to the train, like she hadn't had time to pretend the evening was about anything other than what it was. He stood up, smiled too widely. She offered one in return, polite but already pulling away. They ordered wine. He didn't ask what kind she liked, just pointed at the menu and said, "We'll have this." She didn't correct him. They weren't rude. No yelling. No drama. But I started noticing the silence, not the comfortable kind. The kind you fall into when both people realize they're pretending to be someone else and neither is buying it. He talked a lot about his job, consulting, maybe finance, numbers and names and promotions. She asked once about his family and he gave her the bullet points. Parents divorced, dad in Boca, mom somewhere in Michigan. No sibling. He didn't ask about hers. When she tried to steer the conversation to music or books, he steered it back to himself. At one point, she excused herself to the restroom and was gone for nearly 15 minutes. When she came back, she sat differently, straighter, more alert, like she'd made a decision in that narrow, tiled space. They skipped dessert. I brought the check, and before I could walk away, she reached for her purse. He hesitated, then let her. When they stood, she looked at him and said something quiet. His mouth opened like he was about to respond. Then he didn't, just nodded once. After they left, I noticed a piece of paper under her chair. A small sketchbook page folded once. I picked it up to throw away but unfolded it first. It was a pencil drawing of him. Well, of a man in a suit, alone at a table, hands clasped like he wasn't sure what to do with them. It was raw and unfinished, but you could feel the loneliness in it. I kept it, tucked in the host stand drawer for a while. Something about it stuck with me. Weeks later, she came in again, alone this time, sat at the same table. I recognized her boots. She ordered tea, then soup, and pulled a new sketch pad from her bag. Before I dropped the check, I asked if she wanted her old drawing back. She looked surprised, then smiled like someone remembering a version of themselves they'd already moved on from. "No," she said. "That one wasn't really about him anyway." She paid in cash and left a generous tip. I watched her walk out into the street, head down, sketch pad under one arm, rain just starting to fall again.